everyone. Welcome back to our Go Abroad podcast. Today's a really exciting one, special podcast, as I'm here with three lovely exchange students here at the University of Manchester, and they're going to talk to us a bit about what it's been like to be in Manchester. So, would you like to go around and introduce yourselves? Do you want to start, Anna?
Yeah, sure. So hi, my name is Anna. I'm 22 years old and I'm from Germany, but I study in Austria. And I study British and American studies, and I want to become a journalist one day.
Oh, I love that. I like that. I had an aspiration in as well. I might come round back to me and do one.
So hi everyone, I'm Olivia. I study international relations and business data analytics. Here I take international business modules and computer science, and I'm from Arizona State University.
Amazing.
Hi everyone, I'm Anjalie, and I'm from Simon Fraser University, which is in Vancouver, and I study kinesiology, so I have an interest in women's health and sport. Yeah.
Amazing. So my first question, and one that kind of really interests me, to be honest, is what made you pick maybe England for one, and then second of all Manchester? Because I don't know, I think London gets a good amount of talk, but why Manchester? What made you choose here? Don't know if anyone wants to jump in and start.
I can jump in.
Yeah.
So because I studied, I've always had like a huge passion for the UK and for the culture itself. So it was always clear that I wanted to live here at some point. And then, yeah, I had the choice between Birmingham and Manchester. And then I decided to come here because, I mean, it's the second biggest city in the UK.
True.
And I heard that it's very hip and cool and lots of young people live here.
Yeah.
Which it is, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, did that live up to your, did it live up to your aspiration, like your expectations?
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to the UK before. I wanted to see, like, if this would be viable for, like, a long-term option, like, to do a master's or, like, live here after I'm done with university, and 100%.
Oh, really? Oh, my
I
gosh,
love
it's very
this
positive.
place.
So you're actually thinking of doing, like, a master's after
Yeah,
this?
I would love to. I love Manchester. I love London, but Manchester's really good, too. It's really nice.
Oh, that's really, really good to hear, guys.
I think I'm in a similar boat. So, I mean, I found some fascination. Like, you see everything online, and I visited a couple times when I was younger. We have some family here. And, yeah, I was interested in going to London. I know that I'm the type of person that would want to live in a city with a lot of things going on. And the more I looked into it and the people I talked to, Manchester seemed like a great city vibe, still like London, but the students have a huge influence on the city, and there are so many things to do, so many restaurants, places to try, so super exciting.
Oh, that's really good. It's so interesting to hear this. So I agree with that. With Manchester, I think it's quite special, the uni, because it's so integrated already in the city. Because in other places, like, you might have a campus uni, but you have to travel to the city, whereas you can just carry on walking up Oxford Road and eventually you'll find somewhere to go out and things like that. But no, that's really interesting. Has anything, apart from, obviously, it's met some of your expectations, which is really nice, has anything been a bit like, I don't know, a surprise or maybe a nice little cultural shock that you might want to share with us? Maybe there hasn't been.
I guess for me, the cars driving on the other side of the road,
Yes.
you never get used to it. And then I try to cross the road and I just don't know where to look, and it's very confusing. And
True though, because I studied in Spain, and I mean, I don't know why we drive on the left. It just makes no sense, but everyone else drives on the right. And when I used to cross the road, I'm like, oh wait, it's like your muscle memory, like, I need to turn the other way to look.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's true.
And everyone crossing the street, even when it's like red light. And
I kind of like that. I won't
The
lie.
jaywalking. Yeah, you guys are you?
Save some time.
Yeah, that's a funny thing with jaywalking. I think some people take it a bit too far and risk it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that I love is, like, the public transport. I know a lot of people, like, I have friends from Singapore, and they say, oh, well, it's not as good as, like, back home in Singapore. But for me, like, in Arizona, we don't have, like, buses that function well. Like, a bus will come every hour or so. It's just, this is incredible to me. I love public transport. Maybe I'm just a nerd for public transport.
No, that's I'm nodding like this as well, because I think that's actually, we don't appreciate these things that we have. And I think that's a good one, because you can just hop on and off. It works quite well.
You know, we just talked about this in the bathroom, but the fact that the sinks, there's like cold water and hot water, and you don't know how to wash your hands. I mean, what can you say about it
as a native hand washer of England? I don't know how to describe that. That's a really weird one. I must say, I think they're the old sinks. Because like in my house now, I used to live in a really old house when I was growing up, and that was one and the other. But now it's normal, where it's just you have one tap. So I think at one point they used to just have 2 different pipes coming up, and then they had to put them on each one. But it's a bit weird as well, because do you find that the hot taps, like, it scalds you? It's like really hot.
It's
Scalding
really
hot, and then the other one's freezing.
So you have to mix your hands like underneath it. That's true, actually. That's such a niche. I like that. It's a real niche. I really like it. And we were talking about this before as well. What about the weather, guys? Because we're in sunshine season a bit at the moment, but how do we find that? How do we find that over Christmas time?
I had expected it to be much worse, honestly, and I don't want to jinx it. It will probably get worse again, but so far it's been all right. I mean, the spring has come and there's flowers everywhere, and you can indeed see the sun quite often,
beautiful.
which is nice.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's
I
good.
stepped out of my accom one day and it was super sunny, like midday, and there were people just walking around and sitting around trees and chatting and
wearing
eating.
shorts.
And I was like, oh my god, these are the vibes. Like this is what I came here for. So it was really happy. And it was a nice taster. I know that it's a little bit more cloudy and windy again, but I think that to know that that's what it's going to get like is super exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely a big difference for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was going to say.
The average in the summer is about 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. And that just, like, here, I don't think it'll ever reach that. Like,
no, I don't think it ever has.
It would have to be, like, some sort of, like, I don't know, nuclear fallout or something. It just would be really bad. And so I'm kind of struggling. I have a lot of coats, but I'm okay. I just layer, you know?
Yeah.
That, if you've learned how to layer, you're already doing better than me, because I walk outside the house some days and I'm like, this is wrong. This is the wrong outfit.
It's unpredictable, too. Like, it was hailing the other day, and people were wearing, like, just tank tops because they thought it was sunny in the morning, and then it started hailing, and it's like, let's make up our mind, please.
It's so true. There's a beer, I can't remember the name of the beer brand, and I'm, no advertising. But there's a Manchester beer brand, and like the logo of the beer, it has a cloud, a sunshine, a lightning bolt, and snow. And that just represents everything that could happen in one day.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that is definitely one of those things. I don't know if that's quite hot though.
Yeah.
Do you find that too hot, or are you just so used to it when you're in Arizona?
It is quite hot, I have to say. Like, it's like walking into an oven. If you could walk into an oven.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, but you know what's the best is in the summer here. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
If England had summer all the year round, I would never leave.
I think we'd be less grumpy as well.
Exactly. You'd all have smiles on your faces.
We try. So yeah, we try. And when the sun comes out, they say everyone's just shorts, everything, take all the layers off, things like that. Absolute madness. Interesting as well about what you guys study, of course. So everyone has a different mix. I mean, I study biochemistry and Spanish, which is crazy. Anyone else got any nice eclectic mixes, any crazy mixes that they study? Who wants to?
I do have a very random elective because, so as I study English, I have an English literature course and I have a history of English course, and then for my electives I chose gender, sexuality and bodies in modern Japan.
Wow,
so it's very, very interesting, and it's also very
so
niche.
Cool.
And I mean, I have not much background knowledge, never been to Japan, so I learned so much, and I really want to go now, and it's just very, very interesting.
And English literature as well, because I mean, is English your second language? Because it's you can't tell like you're completely fluent. I mean, gosh, like English literature, I wouldn't be able to personally study that because I don't think my vocabulary is high enough. Some of the books, but I mean, I just think that's absolutely outstanding. But you enjoying it, like you finding it?
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Although I have to say, 1800 literature is quite tricky sometimes.
Right.
And I really yearn for like a very simple romance at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
Just something for entertainment because it does get quite tricky at some point. And we do read lots of long poems about Chartist movements in Manchester, for example. It's very interesting, but also, just a lot.
Difficult. I mean, that sounds like very like dense sort of information.
What's like your favorite thing you've read so far?
Here in we read North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Yeah. And I mean, it's so cool because
her house is somewhere.
Yeah, you can visit her house. And there's so many references to the city. And although the city, she talks about Milton, it doesn't exist. Yeah. It's inspired by Manchester. So that's really, really cool. And yeah, really enjoyed that. Highly recommend.
So it's good to know you enjoyed it, even though it's like, obviously there's a lot of stuff to do. It sounds like an intense course, but it's good to have a challenge as well, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking like marketing, data science, international, like global context of business and management. It's all the same. Like
Wait, but
discipline,
this is I must say, like with the global, like the international stuff,
right.
perfect to be an exchange student.
Exactly. I know. She always loves, like, my professor loves my perspectives because I just give like such random anecdotes about being an exchange. Yeah, but I took a English literature class last semester since I've been here the whole year, and that one was pretty interesting. It was like a fun break. It was about the romantics, so like Jane Austen and like Charlotte Smith and those kinds of authors. It was fun.
Awesome.
I like English literature.
So you give you guys quite a lot of, I've heard this from other exchange students, you get quite a lot of choice, like, on the types of modules you can pick.
Pretty much anything you want, unless you're like admitted specifically into like the business school. I don't think you can go out of that one.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, wow. So you can really do something maybe you didn't have the chance to do back in your home university, like something completely random. That's really good.
I think it might depend because I've met some Erasmus students and then theirs is very
strict,
subject specific.
So
like I was going to say, I think maybe like with engineering, maybe if it's very like biology.
Yeah, I think it depends on the country you're from.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, because some of your home universities want specific things as well. That makes sense. Still though, it's good to have that element of choice.
Exactly.
How about you?
So at home I study kinesiology. Here I'm on a uni-wide exchange, and so there's no sports science or like adjacent department here or program. So mostly I'm just taking electives. I took one biology class, which is called Biochemical Basis of Disease. Challenge at first, but it's actually super interesting. I really like the flow of material. And I'm taking an English course called Theory and Text. And so getting to read some cool stuff, a psych class, and a business class about entrepreneurial skills, which is great to have.
Hers are interesting. They're fun.
Thank you.
That's absolutely amazing though. That's like different areas of your brain. So I was thinking, when I'm studying biochemistry or Spanish, I'm like, okay, today's like science day, and then like, but there's a different part of my brain that's doing like the languages. I don't know if you guys feel like it's like nice to have a range of stuff to do.
Diversify the portfolio a little bit.
As well. Careers wise, that's good as well. I think that's a really good thing. Like a lot of it was one of the reasons I chose to go abroad as well, was that kind of like gives you these opportunities to learn new stuff, but also it's gives you that like global mindset, doesn't it? Like that not everyone has, bringing to roles wherever you end up, whether you stay in Manchester or I don't know where you end up going, but it's one of those nice things that kind of gives you an edge, I think. I don't know, stuff like that.
It's like a very holistic education.
Yeah. That's a nice way of putting it.
It's not even just like learning in the classroom. Coming here, like I didn't even realize how much I was gonna grow and learn about myself. And I think it's a very like reflective time, and you're just so grateful for the opportunity. And you're completely thrown out of anything that's comfortable to like, obviously it's great here and there are some comforts, but when you're used to your routine, or like I'm used to driving at home, but I mean, I couldn't even figure out where the street signs were because they were on the buildings instead of
so annoying.
Infrastructure. So having everything be so different, all of like the food brands and the grocery stores, it's just the random little things that makes you like, it's a very recentering and be like, cool, I'm here, I'm on my 2 feet, everything else is different and new, and navigating that and learning it and then getting better at doing it is such an amazing experience. It helps build confidence, and you just have so much more knowledge about other things in life and the world.
I think you just summed that up. The journey. I think I need to put that in quotes or in a book or something. That was absolutely, it's just like, we always say it's transformative, and it can get a bit repetitive us saying, oh, it's transformative, but it just as you've explained, it's like in ways that you don't necessarily know until you get somewhere and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to deal with this and I've got to deal with this. This is quite different. How am I going to build that resilience, which you really do with those challenges that you see? And it is like really small things, and they do build up. But you get, like you say, you get better at it over time, which is really good as well.
I really need to pinch myself sometimes where I'm just like, oh my God, I'm in Manchester and I'm here now and I don't know anyone. When I came here, I didn't know anyone. And
every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And getting out of your comfort zone obviously is so rewarding, and it's very scary at first. I came here without knowing anyone, and you just get into the city you've never been to, and it's all a lot at first. I remember the first few days were just really weird. I felt really weird. It was just really, really weird. But then it got so easy to make friends because everyone's so open, and it's a very inclusive city, and you just feel very welcomed and happy to be here. I mean, I do have to say I shed some happy tears.
Me too.
Definitely.
You guys gonna make me cry. I was like, oh dear. How lovely. Yeah. How lovely.
I mean, sometimes I don't even think like it's happening to me. Like I just have all this confidence, and I'm like, where did it come from? Oh, it's Manchester.
Yeah.
It just.
That's so nice, guys. I'm gonna have to edit me crying like that in the background.
You need a tissue.
Should I put that in the middle?
Yeah.
That's true though as well. So like with the making friends, how did you guys like go about doing that when you first came?
I think for me, just being in a student accommodation with catering was the best thing that's happened because. So at first, English cuisine doesn't have the best reputation. So I was a bit scared, to be honest.
Fair.
But honestly, the food has been amazing. And even more importantly, you get together with all these people every day for breakfast and then dinner. And it's just so easy to make friends. Like I have a little family now. And
lovely.
I don't have catering, unfortunately, so I do have to cook, or order out. Actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say options,
quote unquote cook. But I mostly make friends. Most of my friends I've made through like the International Society because I've gone on trips with them, and there's like they have socials on Wednesdays and Fridays, like a paint and sip or something like that.
Cute.
And or honestly, just like stumbling across them through like there's also an exchange society, which that was pretty useful to make friends. And they host all kinds of stuff throughout the semester, and that was that was pretty helpful.
That's good. Yeah, they really do put on a good thing, I think, for exchange students. That's really good to hear that you've used that as well.
I think for me, like at home, I was kind of a bit more reserved and the type of person where I'm like, once I get to know you, we'll be very talkative, but a little bit shy at first.
Yeah.
But coming here, I knew. I'm like, Anjalie, you're going to need friends.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to have a fun experience, so you're going to have to actively kind of get over that and go out of your way to make friends and approach people. So coming in with that mindset, it was kind of like walls down, and I'm like, okay, if she looks like she could be a cool person, or like, oh, like,
I love it.
this, like, I'll just approach them. And I've gotten more practice at pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So if I see somebody and they have like a nice outfit, I'll just tell them in the street. So one time there was a girl, she was walking, and her curly hair was done nicely, and I was like, girl, I was going back with like my little bag. It was like groceries. I was like, girl, your hair is so cute. And I said, oh, girl, your hair is so pretty. And she's like, girl, you're so pretty. And then I heard her accent. I was like, where are you from? And she's like, I'm from the States.
No
and
way.
So she's an exchange student too. And so now we're friends.
Oh, so it just happened like that. Boom.
That's
Oh.
so cute.
So I would say, I mean, that's like a small scale example of the big scale example of going on exchange is just push yourself out of your comfort zone,
right?
And good things will probably come from it.
And it is weird that it's like also I found that when I was in Spain as well, I like just decided like that. I was like, just say yes to everything. And if someone offers, do you want to go on a weekend away somewhere? Just say yes.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Every time, and I think in some of those I might have said no in a different year, but that year when I was there, I said yes to everything. And then I met some of these people I never thought they would be like my people, and they turned out to be the best people I've ever met. And it was just like, this is all because I just put myself out there.
Yeah.
Just said yes to stuff.
Also, joining the societies is just one of the best things you can do. I joined the yoga society, and I
cool.
do yoga like 3 times a week, and it's so nice. And of course, you meet your like-minded people straight away.
Yeah, and there's so many opportunities to do so many different things. Like I played some basketball and some soccer, football. So while I'm here, and it's just like a great way to get back to the things that you love doing while making friends.
In like a new context. It's like nice to try some of the stuff you do love in a new context as well.
And also, so at home, like a lot of the sports that we have at a university are at a very competitive level. But here there are so many opportunities. I think there are some more opportunities to play at. You're still competitive, but you're not. Like
You're not. There's no pressure to be like the best. Yeah.
So it's still really fun.
Yeah.
I also on Thursdays I go to the women's football, which is so nice, and it's also just very sorry, it's also for beginners, which I
Yes.
like. So you, as a woman, you feel really encouraged to just do your thing and try out
And
football.
all the coaches are female.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's
wow.
a
There's
very
women's
comfortable
coaches. So
space.
yeah, I really like it.
See, I feel like I've not made the like I've not made I've not taken advantage of like being in
Yeah.
Manchester enough. I'm like, oh, I wish I'd joined that, and I'm like, oh, I'm graduating in June.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. Yeah,
Still
exactly.
time to lock in.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even outside of just like societies and the university, it's such a cosmopolitan city. Like,
Yeah, it's very
there's just so much like such a global presence here. Like there's international, like corporations, and there's just all kinds of like different people just in the city alone. So
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
that advantage, I think, 'cause it's like kind of small geographically, but it's concentrated. It's got high diversity that are not a
it's
lot
high
of other.
concentration.
Which is, I always think that's a really nice thing, especially because it's like if you're I'm quite a big foodie, and it's just you can have food from pretty much any country in the world.
Exactly.
Love that.
I don't know if anyone has a favourite spot or a favourite place that they've had food.
I haven't
I-
had.
You have
Sorry,
you?
please go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear yours.
I haven't had the chance to explore a ton restaurant-wise. I feel like I've just been getting used to the school routine.
Fair.
But I cannot wait to try all the food. But even just like walking down the Curry Mile, I was
Yeah.
like, feels like homey to me.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah.
I mean, I've been here a while, so my favorite spot is Chaiwala. That's where I go and I get
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's like a butter chicken naan, like wrap, and then there's like I get the karak chai, and that's just like my hangout spot. And then for food, I don't know, like the Curry Mile is just amazing. There's chit and chat. There's all kinds of stuff.
I heard about that.
Yeah, that's
you
really
have
that
to go there.
Recommendation.
Next week it's on
Well,
the
I'll
schedule.
take you.
Okay, let's go.
You know
Oh.
what I also love? Do you know Mackie Mayer, the food hall? in the
Oh,
city
that's
centre?
really bougie and
Hands
nice.
down the best place ever.
Yeah.
Ever, ever.
What is
And
it?
You can just, like, it's a food hall, and you can just get whatever you want: tacos, pizza, chicken wings, whatever, ramen.
What? Okay,
yeah,
now
and then
you
they
have
bring it to
to
your
guess.
table. Yeah, it's the best
Like
place.
a
I've been 5
buffet
times.
type.
Like a buffet type. No, they have like different. I don't know the word.
Like you kind of you can go up like there's stalls, I guess. I
Yeah,
can't
stalls is the
remember.
word,
Is that
yeah.
I don't even know if that's the word, to be honest. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they have different stalls, and then you just order your food, and they bring it to your table, and it's like run. Like the waiters are mostly students, so it feels really, really cool. And the
Interesting.
atmosphere is
it's
amazing.
Good vibes.
it's super nice, like as well, because like, it's I think it's got like a glass roof or something. There's loads of natural light, and you
Love
can
that.
sit like you
Wow.
just sat on big benches with
Yeah.
everyone else. So it has.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
this
got
is
a
on the
good
bucket
vibe.
list.
Oh yeah, it's been added to the list.
I'd also recommend just similar to that as well if you like those types of things. It's a place called Society, which is actually just off Oxford Road, and similar thing. They've got different stalls, and sometimes it then turns into, so you have the food stalls, and then it turns into they turn into bar stalls, and they have music on in the evening and stuff like that as well, which is really nice.
Okay, I do have one spot.
Oh, it's
Pretty
good.
good.
Turtle Bay on Oxford Road.
Oh, I've heard of
the
that.
Caribbean spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the music scene in Manchester? So we were talking about this before we came in.
Yeah.
That can be one thing that really attracts like exchange students and actually people from elsewhere. Like for me, partly why I came to Manchester for my uni was because I knew I'd be able to see loads of live music. But yeah, I don't know if anyone's enjoyed that scene outside of Manchester.
So the Blues Kitchen.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's
10
do
out of
that.
10 vibes. The music is amazing.
Yeah.
R&B, Lauryn Hill, everything you want, and it's just really, really nice.
It's really nice as well because I think I've been there once, and sometimes they have a singer in the food bit, and then they have like the second level that's a bit more like not disco, but like you can properly dance
Yeah.
and things like
Yeah.
that.
It's perfect.
It's so good.
Fun spot.
Yeah. Any other spots? Anyone else secret spot?
I've only been to Blues. I think I'll probably go more exploring.
Yeah.
Some more exploring. So
Honestly, the Blues Kitchen is so good that I've only been there. Like when I want to go out and have some live music, I just go there.
It is really
Yeah.
good.
But I guess you can just go everywhere. Like the pubs, all of the pubs have
Yeah.
such good music.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
yeah.
And there's so much selection. So there's tons of different types. When I first got here, I'm not really into too much like pop and rock type music.
Yeah.
And so when I got here, it was a lot of what I was seeing, and I was trying to be like, dang, like where are my kind of scenes? And slowly though, you do find them.
Yeah,
a
that's
little bit
true.
of research on our friend TikTok never hurt. So finding
True.
some good spots. But I like that Blues played like some more. They had some hip hop. They had Afro beats. Trap music, not so much. I'm sure you can find it elsewhere. There's tons of concerts happening
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Manchester Academy. When
Yeah.
I walk by every weekend, there's something happening. There's the Deaf Institute.
I love
That's
that
so
place.
good.
Okay.
I was just about to say.
I haven't been, but yeah.
Yeah, I love that place. Like, they always have some theme. Like, they had the 1975 like
yeah,
love
so good.
night. They had like Call Me Maybe, 2010s pop. We loved that. That was incredible.
Do you dress up for it as well? Sometimes we used to
Yeah,
go there
we
like
dress up.
2000s vibe,
Yeah,
like
we
Y2K.
went the whole group and we just like dominated the dance floor. It
Oh,
was like Call
love
Me
that.
Maybe. And I was like,
Yeah, that's super cool. I've been there as well.
yeah.
But yeah, Academy, there's loads of like, they've got the Cope Arena now as well for like big venues.
Tons
lots
of
stuff.
O2s.
Yeah.
Is this like what
It's
is
a
an
phone
O2 like an
brand.
Yeah,
arena?
it's a phone brand.
So
Oh,
it like,
okay,
I think they
like
must have
Like
sponsored it.
Vodafone or
I got you.
Yeah.
T-Mobile. Yeah.
Okay.
So random, but they sponsored it, I imagine. I don't really know.
Okay, I was trying to figure out because like looking at concerts and being like, okay, it says it's at the O2 Apollo, and I'm like, but there's like 10
of them.
O2s.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. It's confusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And yeah, guys, I mean, before we finish, so it's been lovely to hear your stories. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I think, you know, that you've got an absolute wealth of knowledge about what it's like to be an exchange student. So, you know, keep going out there, meeting new people, speaking to people, sharing your stories. All super interesting. And just like as like a final thing, what advice would you have, or what would you say to yourself from a year ago, planning coming in here, or maybe to another exchange student? What would be like a few pieces or one piece of advice you might have?
My advice would be enjoy getting out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Just be prepared that it will be difficult at first, be weird maybe, but
Yeah.
then you will just have a really beautiful time.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of summed it up. Like, just say yes to anything, within reason. Of course.
Yes.
Don't do bad things, kids. But like when I came here, I was a little bit uptight, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna study and do this kind of like these kinds of trips that I want to do. But like, you have to be open-minded.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet people who want to do completely different things as you, and you just have to like go along and compromise, and you're gonna have the best time of your life just doing that. It's a completely unexpected fun. Like. It's in the unexpected that you will find the most beauty. Honestly, that's
really
what
nice.
I've found.
I'm going to print these quotes out, and I'm going to. We have an exchange desk which is on the first floor of the atrium.
Quick plug.
If you want to come for advice, but I'm going to stick you, if you don't mind, just stick your quotes on the back.
Of course.
So super nice. Find a piece of advice.
Yeah. I would say just jumping off of what you said, I was very like goal oriented and end game oriented when I was going into planning this. So I was like, I'm not gonna go if it doesn't make sense for graduation wise. And then it turns out like sometimes requirements for future programs change, and you're gonna have to take more classes when you get home anyways. So if you're even just thinking about it, give the gift to yourself of really considering it and do it.
Yeah.
Just do it, guys.
Just
For
do
real,
it.
for real.
And you really and truly have no idea what's going to come out of it until you do it. You can be somebody that plans so much and you're doing it because you're being really mindful about your future, but you just have to have faith that you're putting your foot on that next step. You have no idea what's going to come, but like set things up well. You're going to meet friends when you're here. Have a good support system from home.
Yeah.
And just be open, keep your mind open, keep your heart open. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's like, I'm quite a chronic over planner as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's like actually some of the best things happen when they're unexpected.
Exactly.
And it's like if you take one leap and see how things go, actually you'll probably end up making amazing memories.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
We'll stay in touch. So I'd like if you would be interested to come on another one. I think you've just been absolutely amazing.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank
for
you so
having us.
much for coming, guys. And yeah, thank you for listening, everyone. Hope to do another podcast
See you in
next
Manchester.
time. See you around Manchester. Bye.